Hello and welcome to Scrolling with Ceazor. Today is July 14th, 2026. As always, I've got some news for you and I've got some charts for you. It's not financial advice, as always. I've got a lot of stuff I need to do in real life today, so I'm going to really whip through this and try to get it done as soon as possible. I didn't select as many as I usually do, but I'll probably fill it with hot air anyways. So the charts look good. We've got a 5% pump on ETH. So that's pretty good. BTC is up 4%. So obviously we've got a nice green candle on the ETH BTC chart. Gold is up 2% or 1.5%, so recovering most of its losses from yesterday. Let's go down to, did this pump like crazy? No, it's not, so bouncing around. Hype is up 2%-ish, so I'm okay with that, covering almost half of its losses from yesterday. Anyhow, so those are the charts. So things are looking okay. Things are looking optimistic, so to speak. Let's get into the tweets. Okay, so the first tweets here I have is from H1 Drive, or Echon Drive, and he's talking about ETH here, and I thought it was a great time to share what I do, because this guy, I met him through the Ethos network. We talked, and he basically human verified me, right? So anyhow, so patience rewards always. Everyone wants the perfect ETH entry, but the real alpha is boring. DCA, survive, repeat. So he's saying just DCA into ETH all the time, and then if it pumps, it dumps, you can kind of ignore that kind of stuff. Now, I go a little bit higher than that, and I give him this result. I said, so I use Carbon DeFi, and if you look here, here are my Carbon DeFi buying range orders. So these are only buys. All of this range is me buying ETH with stablecoins. But in this case, I used actually SFRX USD. So that's, which is actually like this the interest-bearing stablecoin of Frax Finance, and I was buying Rocket Pool ETH. So my ETH, the ETH that I was buying all this time is earning Rocket Pool APY, and all the stablecoins that weren't used yet are earning SFRX APY. And then as it, it pumps out the top, then it goes through. Now I'm using Carbon DeFi. Now it's not 100% perfect. Like, it's not gonna like every little like tick. It probably didn't buy at this exact picto bottom, but it did buy significantly while this thing was moving through the range. If you want to actually empty the whole clip, then it has to go out the bottom of the range, and then it would empty that entire clip, right? But yeah, so I still have stable coins left, as you can obviously see, because it never went through the bottom of this range, but it did like collect a whole bunch of them for me. So as always, I keep talking about it because it's so good, and people don't use it, but they really should. Okay, so anyhow, moving on. So Ramses did this. Ramses is doing a campaign to like reach out and find more followers. So it says to only follow 45 accounts right now, and we need to increase that. So I think this is kind of a thing that like a lot of projects hesitate to do. That they don't like to follow people because it kind of makes them look like they're biased or stuff like that. But when I have a project or I'm part of a project, I think it's pretty significant to follow like everybody. It's kind of like giving love back to your community. I think you should follow like anyone at all with it, like a project one, because usually the project is just announcements. It's not a reply guy, and you're not scrolling with the project. You just give it for announcements. So following does like absolutely no pain, unless you're following a bunch of scammers, and then people think those scammers are legit because you're legit and you're following a bunch of scammers. But you get my point. Moving on, so Ombre Wallet, or ombre.eth, did a long 30-40 minute video interview with Bojam from Liquidity. So he's a good friend of mine. I love this protocol for so many reasons I can't even begin to list. So you can jump in here, you can listen to this and understand more about stablecoins, lending, borrowing, and the ethos of Bojam's mindset, as well as Liquidity, the Bold stablecoin. I hold a lot of Bold stablecoin. I'm very biased on this protocol, but I'm biased because I know it's good stuff. Moving on. So here we have gregbase.eth. He tweeted this out, and I thought it wasn't significant. Now, I talked about this in the past, and I still think it's pretty cool. Okay, so Aerodrome is replacing the weekly gauge voting with predictive allocation this month. So this month, you're going to be able to change your vote at any time on Aerodrome. It will immediately affect your votes. So new emissions your emissions will immediately start being directed to the new pool, and you will start gaining the fees of the new pool. But, then you'll have a cooldown. I think the cooldown is 48 hours, if I recall. Now, why is this important? Because it's going to work with AI agents. AI agents, you'll be able to tell your AI agent, hey, I want you to vote for me. And if you see something significant, I want you to change my vote for me. And that's pretty significant. Like it's not a super dangerous thing, because you're not giving your actual assets to them. Well, you will be giving him your VE Arrow or your NFT so he can vote with it, but at least you're not giving him tokens to trade, and he can't possibly. The worst thing he can do is lose you some fees, or maybe direct your votes to some shitty pool and get them more arrow. Like, these are the worst possible cases. It's like, he might send your NFT to some scammer through, prompt injection or something. But at least, you're not going to he's not trading for you and stuff. I think it's worth checking out. But the main point is this predictive allocation thing, which allows you to adjust on the fly, which is pretty cool. Okay, so Benjamin of Cap Money did a long article here where he just drops the truth of what happened with their stable swap announcement. So, they basically, they didn't give a whole bunch of people stable coin airdrop, which they kind of promised, and here's why. I'm affected by this. I was expecting a pretty significant stable drop airdrop from them, but I got nothing, so that sucks for me. I lost all that opportunity cost. But he does get into it, and kudos to him for being completely transparent and explaining why things happened and what happened. Oh, Pickles Cage tweeted out that now if you were able to get one of these NFTs, well, not an NFT, if you were getting a card from Monad a long time ago, now you can kind of convert them to an actual NFT. So you can go to the website here, and you can log in with your X and then mint that NFT to the wallet Soulbound and so forth. I don't know why. I don't know if it does anything. It's going to cost you a little bit of money because it's gas, but who knows? Who knows if these NFTs will have any utility in the future. They are soul-bound, as I reckon. I haven't dug through the code, but I did see someone while I was kind of minting through mine. As you can see, I minted mine. I did see somewhere that it said it was soul-bound, so that kind of sucks. So you can't sell them, but maybe there will be some utility, maybe some airdrops, maybe something like this. So it's kind of it's pennies, and you might as well do it, right? So check it out. Do it if you can. So Yearn Finance's YVUSD is showing some pretty interesting APRs. Now their APR is boosting quite a bit. Now that's because they're still in a farm that's using CUSD, so Cap USD. Now I talked to them specifically about this, and there is a tweet from them. Let me dig through my things and find the tweet. Where is it? Yeah, so Shalag tweeted out why Yearn is still in Cap USD, and you can kind of go through this and read it, but it's basically saying, it's still Seifu. It's just everyone's angry and sad about losing their money, right? Or losing their airdrop, right? So he's like, yeah, we're gonna sit in here for now and farm this this dumps, because people exiting, right? People running away, like people are angry, right? So they're going to exit, right? So he's just kind of saying, yeah, things still look pretty good though. So, we're going to sit in there. So Yearn is kind of still in there. If you're in this YVUSD Volt, then you are still in there farming some of that juice. If you don't want to be farming that juice, then I highly suggest you reevaluate whether or not you're going to be in this Volt anymore. Moving on, Lalgaris. So this is interesting. So $322 billion down to $309 billion in 2 months. So the TVL of the stablecoin TVL of crypto has dumped significantly. Now I do think it's partially due to like the fact that this is not just purely like USDC USDT, but also other kinds of like degenerate stablecoins that have now folded, projects that have closed, and so forth. So that could be possibly it. I don't know, but it is significant to see that the stablecoin supply is decreasing on a trend. But will it reverse? I'm not sure. I'll probably think so. Moving on, so Meepo dropped this, which is pretty interesting. Meepo says TIL that JP Morgan doesn't let individuals send ACH payments, only wire transfers. This is a bank owned by a guy lobbying against stablecoins. So he's just kind of showing you that banks are so corrupt, they're so closed off. Like this is what does this stand for again? It's like clearinghouse accounts, clearinghouse payments or something. So like basically like there's some company that's like, yeah, well we'll take those US dollars and give you this thing, and yeah, we'll take it at like $1 value. Like they don't, it's not a liquidity pool. It's kind of just like, yeah, we're willing to buy all of your shit. Send me all of those things and we'll pay you for it, right? Now, clearinghouse is a little bit strange with stablecoin or with dollars, because dollars are always worth dollars, and they're probably pricing those dollars in dollars. But there might be other things, like think of it like a Forex trade. Like they're willing to so they kind of, they're not trading the actual Forex price. They're kind of trading some set price that they might decide every day or something like this, right? So, and JP's like, no, you can't use those guys. You can only use our wire transfer system because, we make more money that way. And then you see that all the time with banks. But obviously you don't see it because they don't tell you, or it's way deep down in the fine print. So yeah, stable coins for the win, guys. Let's keep going. And stable coins, so Frankencoin, I don't hold this. I don't know if there's any yield sources for this, but it's the Swiss franc. And I think that's pretty cool. Like it's like, what's your favorite reason for holding Swiss franc? And then he compares the chart to the US dollars. And you can see the Swiss franc did not inflate the value of their, mint a whole bunch of their shitcoin. So they've obviously been holding pretty strong against the US dollar over the years. But it's pretty far out, right? Pretty far away, right? So I don't know. So that's that. Frax Finance has a new peg keeper pool with a digital Terra Digital Group, and it's a Canadian dollar stablecoin. Now, I don't know if there's any yield on this. I don't know. I'm not going to hold a Canadian digital stablecoin just because I'm in Canada, unless there's yield on it, unless there's an easy way to convert this to US dollar or to fiat into my bank. I'll dig a little bit deeper into this Terra Digital Group for myself. But I thought it significant to share that Frax Finance was able to become it was able to get them to become part of the Frax family. So Frax keeps growing and growing, and I love it. I really hold a significant amount of FRX USD in several places. So yeah, that's it. I hope this has been interesting, useful. Thank you so much for listening, and goodbye.